system now. Okay. So yesterday in what we have done, right? So we have seen how to connect to the CSV files, how to load the data from your flat file. CSV file is also called as a flat file, how to load the data from a flat file, which is nothing but the CSV file. We have seen it, and also how to perform the basic data transformation we discussed. And also have explained you how to connect to the SQL server in direct connectivity mode and then import connectivity mode. And also I've shown you how to submit a SQL query via the Power BI desktop. We discussed something something about the query folding as well, right? The basic concept. And then I have shown you how to call a stored procedure from Power BI desktop. Okay. And the next one is, the other student, right? 1 second. Deepa was asking this one. Can you show me one more time the SQL server thing? So what I will do is how to SQL server, how to invoke the stored procedure. Okay. SSMS. What I'm going to do is I'm going to launch the SSMS. In the meantime, those of you who are yet to receive the login credentials, please send your first name, last name, and email ID. We'll share your credentials probably sometime tomorrow, because since today being Sunday, our people are not available. Tomorrow we will create in our LMS system. We'll share the link or the credentials, okay? Wherein you can go and download the data set. Anyhow, at the end of the session today, I'll explain you how to navigate to my website, all the things, the course content, the video. Next to the databases, you click on the plus icon. Here you can see the databases which I already created. Okay, and if you are completely new one to this one, right, I'll explain you later. Okay, those of you joined recently. Okay, see, this is the one I have shown you for retail database, retail analytics. I think this is the one I have shown you on. Yeah, here I have only one table is there. I'll just show you here. And okay, SCMOT and sales. I think I have created many tables here. Yeah, it is there, everything here. Okay, fine. Now what I will do is probably I will open the new query. So don't worry about the navigation, everything. Just in the initial period, right? The beginning, I will just show you how to connect to the SQL query, SQL server from Power BI desktop, and how we can connect using the two connectivity mode, like import connectivity mode, direct connectivity mode. What are the difference between these two? And then we'll show you the live connection mode. That is a different thing altogether. And how to submit SQL query from your Power BI desktop. And the other one is we have already discussed about this one, right? The stored procedure. 1 second, let me see if I can see it here. I think my sister is using this laptop, but she deletes everything. Couple of things without my knowledge, she's deleting it. 1 second, please. I'll just check here. Oh, thank God it is there. This is the stored procedure, a simple stored procedure just for just to get started, right? But right, so this is the stored procedure. But I'll explain you in detail how to create stored procedure, everything as part of the SQL training. Okay. First, we'll start with the Power BI desktop, and once I complete the Power BI, we will continue with the SQL Server. Okay. So this is look here. This is my SQL Server. In this SQL Server, we have multiple databases are there, right? In my case, okay. In your case, since you have installed everything from the scratch, you will not find these databases. And you need to create, I explained to you in the last session how to create the database, everything, right? So here in this database, sales is a database. In this database, I have in the tables, in the tables folder, we can see a lot of tables. These tables were created by me. Since we have multiple databases here, we need to tell the SQL Server, hey, you need to select this specific database, okay? In this case, I will use the sales database. Okay, 1 second. Yeah, this is the one I have used it here. Look here, many databases are the sales is there, sales database is there. Select this specific database because in this database, I want to create the stored procedure. So here, before that, you check you have all the necessary tables, all the tables that are available here already. Okay. Yes, these are the tables are there already. So what I do is I'm going to first select the database. Out of all the database, which database I wanted to get in. So this is the database I wanted to select it. I wanted to get into this database, execute this one. Okay, and then the next one is drop this procedure. Okay, you might be asking this question. I've never ever created any procedure. So should I still do this one? But this is the practice. Okay, if you talk to any database administrator, and if you see their script, first they will drop their table, okay, the procedure or objects first time when they create it. Okay. And then what I do is I will create it from the beginning, the stored procedure. Stored procedure, what is a stored procedure? We keep the common logic inside the stored procedure. Okay. The syntax for creating the stored procedure is in blue color. The create procedure, and followed by that, you can specify whatever the name that you wanted. And then here you can specify the parameter, okay, add date. So the variable name is add date. The parameter name is add date, and the date is the data type. What data type this parameter is. And then you need to specify the, these are the keyword, okay, reserved word. And here select star from the table where order date is greater than this parameter. So that since I'm using a parameter, I can pass whatever the date that I wanted. I can reuse this query, anytime. Once, this is a simple example. Usually what we do, right? We keep the common business logic in a stored procedure or stored function so that once you create the stored procedure or function, it can be called anytime. It can be called more than once. Create once, use it as many times as you want it. Okay, that is the principle of using stored procedure and stored function. Here in this case, what I did, I just used the simple logic here. I'm going to create this stored procedure. In this stored procedure, what I'm doing is I'm going to select the data from the sales fact table where the order date is more than the date which we supplied. Okay, fine. So now I have created the stored procedure. We have to use this stored procedure, isn't it? So what I'm going to do is there is a reserved word called exec, using which we are going to invoke this function. I'm going to call this function sp sales by date. This is my stored procedure, and followed by this is my parameter, right? So in the parameter, I'm going to pass the value. Select the data from sales fact table where order date is greater than the 2nd November 2021. Okay, look here. First, we will check it out here. It is doing perfect job. It's working fine. And if you see the order date, you can see the 3rd December, and these are the things that we are seeing it, right? Yeah. So what we will do is we will select this one. I'll go to the Power BI desktop now. 1 second. So now I just launched the Power BI desktop. Okay, just type the Power BI desktop in the start window, and then if you click on it, it will get launched. Now I just launched the Power BI desktop. So already I have loaded the couple of tables here. One second. I'm going to click on, so here we have multiple pages, page 1, page 2, page 3. I just clicked on the plus sign. Look here, I just show you one more time. I'm going to click on this one. Okay, and I'm going to apply the changes. I don't know why it is saying apply changes now. All right, so now what we do is if you wanted to load any data in Power BI Desktop, you need to select the get data. So next to the get data, you can see the drop down here. You just select this one, and here you will find the SQL Server. Because we want to connect to the SQL Server, I'm going to click on this one. Here, I'm going to expand this one, advanced options. Here, I just copy paste this one, execute. This is the one. I'm going to select the import connected mode. Here, you need to specify your SQL Server name. For that, I just go to the SSMS. I'm going to select the connect database engine. This is your server name. Okay, right click on it, copy it, and then go back here, and then you paste it here. And here, what you do is you need to specify the database. It is not mandatory. It is optional. However, it is a best practice if we can specify the database name here itself. Okay, select database, sales database. And here, look here, in this case, advanced options, execute, stored procedure name, parameter, I pass this value. Okay, I'm going to hit the OK now. So in this case, look here, if I don't use the advanced option, and if I click OK, what will happen is it will open this database and it will show all the tables or the objects that are available in this database. I don't want to select the tables. I don't want to import the tables. Okay, instead, I want to call the stored procedure, which I already created in my SQL Server. Got it? I'm going to hit OK button. Deepa, are you okay? I'll just explain one more time. See, I don't want to import the tables, or I don't want to use the direct query to connect to the SQL Server tables. Instead, what I'm doing is I just call the stored procedure, which I already created. This is my stored procedure, which I already created in my SQL Server. And then for this parameter, I'm passing this value. So in that case, what we are telling Power BI Desktop is, hey, call this stored procedure, which is available in this SQL Server under this database. And also select in the stored procedure, pass this value to this parameter. So in this stored procedure, what logic I've used it? Select the data from the sales fact table where order data is greater than this one. I'm going to hit OK now. Look here, it got selected. So it shows, see, whatever we have tested it here, right? This is the data, got this data, right? So whatever the data that you see it here, this is the one you are seeing it here. This is your preview window, the preview window, okay, data preview window. It will not show all the data, only the sample data. So there are three buttons here, load button and transform data and cancel. Obviously, if you click on the cancel, this data will not get loaded. And transform data, when you click on this, it will open the Power Query Editor. So Power Query Editor is like your kitchen. That is where we do the data transformation, data cleaning, data pre-processing, everything we do it here. So at this moment, I don't want to open the Power Query Editor to do the data transformation. Instead, I'm going to load the data here. Okay. First load the data and then you do the data transformation, everything. Yes, how can I see where that thing got loaded? So you can see it just beneath this fields pane. Okay. So here the query 3. Okay. This is a query 1, query 2. Already we have loaded it. In the previous session, I have shown the query 3. Okay. So, but the default name it uses query 1, query 2, query 3. Okay. For the stored procedures and all. Okay. You can rename it. Okay. And if you want to see the data, okay, or if you want to see the columns that belongs to this query, you can click on this greater than sign. It will expand all the columns that are available as part of this query. Though it is a query, okay, query, Power BI considers this as a table. Look here, next to that, we can see the table icon. And also remember that even if you load any type of the file in your Power BI desktop, be it Excel file or XML file or Excel, XML, or JSON, any type of a file, including the table, right? If you load it here, it will consider them as a table only. So common format is the table, okay? So in this case, I'm going to say the sales data for 2000, something like 2019, right? I have 2020, something like that, okay? Give some meaning, whatever the meaningful name, okay? Whatever the name that you want to give it, you can give it so that later point you can refer it, okay? Sales data is 2020. Okay, I can see the query name or the table name here, and then the column names here, okay? And if I want to see the data, on the left side, you need to click on the data view. This is where you can see the data, but here it shows the, this tables, but I don't want to see that, right? I want to see the sales data, 20 data, this tables data here. And so you need to make sure that you are selecting the correct table here. Look here, it shows the correct data here. Whatever the thing that you are seeing it here, the same thing, you can see it here. So you might be asking this one, if I create a stored procedure here, and if I test it here, everything is working fine, then why do I need to use Power BI desktop? So what you do is here, you call the stored procedure, and then the output of this stored procedure, which is nothing but the result set of this one, the records, you will store it in this one. Probably you will use another file. In that file, you will be having 2021 year data. In that 2021 data, what you do, you want to combine these two things, right? In that kind of situation, it is very much helpful. Okay. It is very much helpful. So, so sometimes what will happen is we will be loading the data from CSV file. Sometimes we are loading the data from SQL Server table, maybe one-to-one table, right? Single table data will be loading it. And some cases in the SQL stored procedure, you are combining multiple tables, and then you are, based on some values that you pass to the parameter, the output will be produced. So with this thing, you want to combine it everything, right? So at this moment, beginners, if you are completely new into IT, please don't get confused too much. Just focus on what I taught, okay? So anyhow, we'll discuss in detail about the data transformation pipeline, everything later sometime. At this moment, you just understand what are the options that are available with this SQL server, okay? How to use the import connectivity mode, direct connectivity mode, and then how to invoke the stored procedure, which you already created in SQL server. Okay, anyhow, you watch my video one more time so that, and then you can practice it. All these data set, everything's available in my website, okay? So what I'm going